Hello. How's everybody doing today? Brother John Stewart on behalf of Lost Sheep Ministries, here to take you on another little walk with the word for the day. So today we're going to finally get to the conclusion. I don't want to say exciting conclusion, but the conclusion of all this foolishness and this messiness that David got himself into. Sad situation, actually. And we're going to look at what happens when you as a father make the wrong decisions that leads your family down the wrong path. So tonight I'm going to share with you a lesson out of 2 Samuel chapter 18, verses 31 through 33. So in 2 Samuel, the Lord tells us this. He says, "And behold, Cushai came, and Cushai said, Tight is my lord the king, for the Lord hath avenged thee this day of all them that rose up against thee. And the king said unto Cushai, Is the young man Absalom safe? And Cushai answered, The enemies of my lord the king, and all that rise up against thee to do thee hurt, be as that young man is. And the king was much moved, and he went up to the chamber over the gate, and he wept. And as he went, thus he said, O my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would God I had died for thee. O Absalom, my son. Ah, man, sad situation that David's gotten himself into right here. But as we look at these verses tonight, we see David as something that this world don't really afford men to be, to get the opportunity to be. And that's a broken man. I mean, it's bad enough to have to bury a child. I don't think no man or woman should have to experience that. No parent, I should say no parent, should have to experience that, to have to bury a child. But not only to have to bury a child, but to know that your own hand did it. Oh, man, I couldn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? But here we see David mourn the loss of his son, which is, like I said, it's the conclusion of the punishment of his that he have to go through because of his sin with Bathsheba. And even though his son was actively trying to kill him, it still didn't hurt any less because David knows that this is on him. And see, I'm about to make a statement, and I already know I'm about to make some enemies with this one, boy. I'm about to make me some enemies with this, but I'm about to make this statement, and even though I'm gonna make some enemies, I'm gonna go ahead and make it because the truth must be told. You know what I'm saying? It's often said that motherhood is the hardest job known to men, and I strongly but respectfully disagree. Fatherhood is by far the hardest job known to man. I mean, honestly, it ain't even close. Because you got to think about it. When you become a father, it all falls on you. It all falls on you. You have the task of literally fighting the world every day to save your child from this world every day. And then, this is something people don't think about it. Not only do you have to save them from the world, but you also have to be mindful enough to realize that you also have to save them from yourself. You know, that's why David was so upset, because he had to live with the burden of knowing that it was his decisions that brought this whole situation about. You know what I'm saying? Everything he did, because even if you go back to when you look at when they first brought up Absalom, they first talked about Absalom and David. When they first talked about it, they talked about how beautiful Absalom was, or handsome he was, and how his hair was all this thick or whatever. But it makes this statement, and it says that David never disciplined him. So you see, that's why David was so burdened, because that's when you as a father and you see your kids go astray or go the wrong way or something bad happen, it always come back on you like, man, could I have done more? Could I have done this? You know what I'm saying? Should I have spanked them? Should I have disciplined? Either way it go, it falls all on the shoulders of the father when things go bad. When it goes right, yes, that's great. But when they go bad, it comes back on the father. You know what I'm saying? You look at all the statistics about criminals and all the statistics about the people in prison, all the statistics about single parent homes and single unwed mothers, all that stuff. It all goes back to the fathers. The fathers get blamed for everything, but yet we get praised for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, as a father, everything you do affects the life of that child, whether it's good or bad. So if you got bad habits, not only will it affect that child, your current child, it also has the possibility of affecting your children's children. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the Bible, it says what? It says the sins of the father will go down to the third and fourth generation. It don't say the sins of the mother. You know what I'm saying? Mom get the slide when it comes to the blame game, but dad get blamed for everything. So you get the burden and the weight of the world on your shoulders. You got the burden of making sure your family's safe and protected, and not only just for this generation, but all other generations. You get the burden of doing all this stuff, and guess what? You're not even appreciated while you're doing it. You're not even appreciated. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's sad, but true. It's something I talk to my kids about all the time, because, you know, I keep them in church. We do little Bible studies, and I try to keep them on the right path. I'm always getting the wisdom. Half the time they don't be wanting to listen. And I've told my kids this before, and they can attest to it. I said, you know, most fathers, especially the good ones, they're not really appreciated till they're gone. Because if you're being a good father, you're doing your job, everything just works smoothly. Everything just works out because you got it. You know what I'm saying? You got the foundation laid down. You know what I'm saying? You're leading the family in the right direction. And the things run so smoothly, they don't realize that it's only running smoothly because of the sacrifices you're making. So they don't really appreciate you till after you're gone. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? They ain't got no appreciation with you know what I'm saying? They ain't got no problem with appreciating mama. Mama get all the praise. You know what I'm saying? I remember I worked at this steak restaurant. I never forget, Mother's Day was our busiest day of the year. Mother's Day. And I remember the first year I worked, Mother's Day was busy. And then so when Father's Day came up, like, man, we're going to get prepared for Father's Day. Like, for what? They're like, it ain't nobody going to be here for Father's Day. Like, you can come in and see whatever you want. You ain't even got to have no reservation. They don't care. What the Father's Day? What do you get for Father's Day? They got sales on tools. You go to Mother's Day, they got sales everywhere. You go to Father's Day, they got sales on tools. Go fix something. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no problem with appreciating mothers. But man, I'm telling you, fathers get no love. Soon somebody get famous, get on TV. What's the first thing they say? Hey, mama. What's up, mama? You don't never hear them like, hey, what up, dad? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Look at all the songs that's written about mama. Dear mama, love you, mama. They ain't got not one single I appreciate your daddy song. The only song they got about daddy is Papa was a Rolling Stone. Ain't that something? You know what I'm saying? So fathers, they got the weight of the world on their shoulder. They're responsible for everything. They get blamed for everything. And they get no type of support or sympathy or appreciation. They get no sympathy. Man, you can have a woman and she can be the crappiest mother that ever walked this life, that lived in this life. And you know what I'm saying? And people still be like, you know what? No, she did her best. But let a man who's actually trying to do his best, but still somehow falls short, and what they going to say about him? Oh, he's just a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? You get no props for being a dad or doing dad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mama get praised all the time for just doing mama stuff. Oh, mama, mama, mama. You got to appreciate mama. But you don't get no kind of prop for doing dad stuff. You know what they say when you do dad stuff? That's what you're supposed to do. You're a man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say dad is hard. You have no appreciation. You have, first of all, you got the weight of everything on you. You get blamed for everything. Don't get appreciated for anything. You got no support system. You're often unthanked. You're unappreciated, undervalued, but yet you still get up every day and give your all to being a dad. And the reason why, because it's honestly, even though you're unappreciated, even though you're undervalued, it's also the most rewarding thing a man can do. Because being a good earthly father can lead to generations to the heavenly Father. And that has been your little walk with the word for today. I pray these have blessed you. I hope they are. If they are, make sure you like, tag, share, comment, repost. If you want to catch my full sermon, catch me on Facebook Live Monday nights, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Now I post them on my Facebook page. I also put them on my YouTube page. If you want to find all my little social media outlets, just go to lostsheepministry.com and you can find them all there. And of course, you're not 100% sure about your salvation, reach out to me and let me know, and I can put some time in my schedule to go over the gospel with you. I love you all. Remember, I always watch your back and pray. And until next time, peace.